Mike check. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. There we go. What's up, Erica? How you doing? Good morning, Andy.
Good morning, y'all. Happy Tuesday.
Happy for you already?
I get started so early, it's got to be happy.
What time you get going? What time you get going?
I'm at the Tony.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Good morning, Kim.
I did not brother my brother.
You on the move this morning? I say, is you on the move this morning? You on the move this morning? You up and at 'em?
I'm at every going out of town on
Really?
that fleet.
Okay. Well, don't say too much now. Don't say too
Right.
much. Oh, let's cut that. Let's cut that stream on right now. You know. Oh yeah. Oh, got a little warm in here all of a sudden.
Good
Good morning,
morning.
Rodney.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Mr. B, Joni, how y'all do this morning?
Grand Rising. How we doing?
Sound like that fishing trip took some steam out you, Mr. Brown.
Man, that it did. I'm gonna say it did, but it was enjoyed. It was enjoyed, man. I ain't get inside till like 11:30 last night, boy. I'm all
Y'all
right.
have a
Gotta go
good day
back
out
out there
there.
today. Yeah, we had a good day. Going back out there today around 11, 12 o'clock.
Cool,
Whenever I'm
cool,
finished with my
cool.
morning meetings. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Tell you what I saw out
Who
there. A
cleaning?
house.
Who clean?
I'm
Who cleaning the catch?
Oh, we didn't catch nothing, boy. We started the fish. We ain't catch not one thing. We sat up there and talked business the whole time. And
Gotcha. Y'all
drove
just
around
wait.
this mansion. Huh?
Yeah, y'all just waiting your hooks then.
Yeah, basically. Well, we got, like I said, we meeting again today to work out some more details. We got a lot of little details to work out. But man, I saw this $2 million house with like three other houses come with it. You get the house, you get a mother-in-law house, you get a beach house, and you get a workout house and an outside house, like yard house. I was like, okay. So I don't know. I might go see that thing today. I don't know. But
Oh yeah, I guess.
yeah, we're gonna try the drone over there today. We want to see what the pool look like. They say the house, the dude who lived in it went to jail a couple of years ago, and nobody's lived in it since. So I don't know. He might not be for sale.
Y'all salt water or fresh water?
Oh, that's fresh water. That Pontchartrain.
Okay. Oh, Lake Pontchartrain. All right. Okay.
Oh, that means I could get some bluegill.
I don't know, cause I'm a horrible fisherman. Like the fish take my bait and don't even bite the hook, Lord. Oh man. So I don't know what you could get from us, but
You can get your bait back. That's what you get.
basically, they say check your hook. I check the every time I check the hook was no bait, no fish.
It's okay. Just keep trying. All right, let's get it cranked up. Mr. Tony, if you don't mind to go.
Well, good morning, and more morning, everybody. Welcome to Hello Houston, where we go live on weekdays, 7:15 to 8:15, and a lot of days we just go over. Just stick and stay, and we'll see how long we last. So, um, follow the house as we ask you to do. You got the banner there for HelloHoustonTexas.com. And without further ado, this morning we're talking. Let's talk the metaverse. Anybody know what it is? Uh, I got a rough, I got a rough draft of it in my mind, but let's go. What's the metaverse? Anybody know what the metaverse is?
This is a serious question because everybody keeps talking about it. Everybody say, get you a piece of it because of this, that, and the third. I really want to know who know about it, what it is. Break it down to me. Why we need NFTs? Why we need this digital world? I need to know details if y'all don't mind.
Me too.
So tell me what you heard or what you know.
I
Anybody know?
haven't heard anything about it, to be honest. I mean, I hear people saying metaverse, metaverse, but I haven't heard the actual breakdown of it.
Anybody know? If not, I can give you.
Let us have
I
it.
mean,
Let's have it, Mr. Brown.
go ahead.
Well, your metaverse, funny enough, be what you'd call connecting different platforms, right? So the things you own in one game on one platform, you'll be able to take from that platform and keep and bring to another game, another platform. So, and from my understanding of it, something like owning land in the metaverse is similar to owning land in reality, except in the metaverse, you start receiving profit on that land the moment you buy it. Now, my buddy, he bought some land in the metaverse. He gets like 0.0001 cents a day. I think it's 0.001 cents every 5 seconds. He only bought a little bit, of course. But ideally, if he continues this path in a couple years, he'll be up to a couple hundred per second or per 5 seconds. The metaverse allows you to create digital stores and connect them with your physical stores, um, and connect people from anywhere in the world. And also, you can connect anywhere in time. So you're able to create a world along the lines of what you want it to be and give people access to it. So if I want to do a Game of Thrones type world, medieval, back in that day, that could be the setting of my world, but I can take those things that I create in that world and bring to a futuristic world that's maybe set like 100 years or 1,000 years in the future that someone else created digitally. Now, in this digital world that they created, you're able to sell physical products that people can hard order to their home. You're able to sell digital products. Now, the digital products, for the most part, are NFTs. Your NFTs are going to be the property you own in the metaverse. Your crypto is going to be the money you spend in the metaverse, depending on which metaverse, which world, which situation you're in is going to say, okay, I need to trade some of these whatever coin for another type of coin so I can make a purchase in this world of something I like or I saw. You can buy anything from training, physical training in the metaverse, to haircuts in the metaverse. A lot of the stuff that we aspire to exist in the metaverse still has to be programmed. It's just been idealized. But ideally, you can multiply your income in one day by selling digital products in the metaverse versus what you're doing in the real world at your brick and mortar. Um, so if you know anybody play Fortnite or something even like Grand Theft Auto, that's going to give you a view of what the metaverse is aiming to be, where you can set in your digital avatar and travel across a world, making digital purchases and building things with the material that you own. If you ever seen Ready Player One, The Matrix, the Matrix is the extreme, is the negative extreme, right? Everybody plugged in. Now, there's depth to this. I touched on a couple broad subjects, but there's depth to this because they're going everything from converting human energy to what you call data fishing, and then selling your data to other platforms so that they can create metaverses or similar metaverses using purchase data of other people. So that's what all the data collecting is about also. This is a rough draft. It may not be the best definition of the metaverse, but basically that's it. It's a digital world that allows you to create any type of world, any time frame, any place in time, and thus create real revenue from it, generate real revenue out of it that you can spend in the real physical world. Um, so yeah, that's what I understand of it.
So, and good morning to everybody in the room. If you guys down at the in the audience, you want to come up, feel free to. If you want to chime in on the topic, Simone Master and we see you, Ashley. Hello, good morning. So look, and Julie. So here we go, Mr. Brown. Like here on Earth, so to speak, we buy like property in acres, right? How do you know how it's purchased in the metaverse?
Same way.
Gotcha.
They
All
call it the
right.
same way, but clearly it's different though. Because like on Earth, you buy real estate, and I think it's something you can go through to buy the airspace and to buy the land under it. In the metaverse, you get that like block. Like you get the land, you get the air above it, you get everything in that block of space. So that's one of the differences I noticed on the land side. And plus, you start getting paid for the land on most platforms as soon as you purchase it. Like you start receiving a residual on that land. And
Gotcha.
unlike real life, you have to actually have something or be building or have a tenant to receive an income from the land.
So
So
do you know who it's purchased from?
these different gaming platforms. So the gaming platforms purchase a
Okay.
certain amount of bandwidth, and on that bandwidth, they're allowed to. It's a limited bandwidth per platform that they purchase. They're allowed to build their world on it. Now, in their world, they'll segment so many blocks or plots of land. They might have 250,000 plots of land segmented out, and each square or one segment be considered an acre, and they sell it that way. Now, this land may be configured with the imagery of New York. It may be configured with the map scale of Atlanta. Depending on the company or the game and how they're scaling the land, how popular they are, that depicts the value of that land. So you have some games that are out of beta that are already fully functioning for the most part. Of course, they have add-ons; they'll always be updating. But so you'll buy land in this game knowing that it's going to sell for more because the game already has a plan for as a build out and when they're going to auction more land. And so if you ever played digital games, you know they have digital releases on these games. Just like any other product or any holiday, they'll release it around events, around a holiday, around Christmas, around New Year. And so if you have land or crypto coins in these games, you know when this growth is going to come. You know that okay, they're gonna have this digital release, and just by the people who are already using the game, not new users, they're gonna have to make certain game in-game purchases to participate, and that increases the value of a coin. So just like they're talking about multiverse, and when you think multiverse, you think in multiple universes, and that's basically how you want to view it. But in the real world, they've discovered alternate universes and things of this nature. So their work is to create and connect and create connectivity between our world and these other universes also. So when they talk about market cap and they're talking about the market share and how much revenue the market can generate, they started off saying, okay, maybe 800 billion. Then they went to 8 trillion. Then it was 80, and then it was 30 trillion. Last number they were talking was $80 trillion potentially to be generated from creating the metaverse. Now, the question is, where are the $80 trillion coming from, right? And that's the metaverse. That's you saying, hey, I'm a truck driver. So, along with being a truck driver, I also operate a digital truck driving school. So someone might come to your truck driving school in physical, real person. Yeah, I'm here. Hey, I'm here. I'm in your physical school. Show me how to drive. But then you might have people from all over the world that same day come to your digital truck driving school, pay the full fee, and take your digital truck driving course. Get the certifications that they need, and all of a sudden they went to Tony's truck driving school in Houston and they're from Maine. They never left Maine. They never left Africa. They never left where they were at, and they were able to attend your school. So obviously, you're able to generate way more revenue within your business, not having to physically produce a product and still get full price for your service. And this is can be duplicated in most industries.
All right. I like this. I like this. I like this. I like how you're breaking it down because I swear, people who break this down in other forms, I've been like, wait, I'm still freaking lost. But I like how you did you said multi universals, universes getting together. That is definitely true. I like the fact that you're talking about how the bandwidth, how these people are getting their NFTs and getting their pieces of, I say, land or property or digital property by doing it with digital. I'm sorry, NFTs with digital property or whatever. But I like that you're breaking this down the way you are. I'm pretty sure it can go deeper into what we're talking about, but I like the way you just started this off. Do me a huge favor, y'all. Hit the plus sign at the bottom and in the search bar, type in NFT, type in technology, type in metaverse, whatever keyword that you think that someone would have in their bio, that we can get some more people to come in and actually have this conversation because I really want to know what this is and I really want to tap into it because it's honestly not going nowhere. We talked about this the other day when we was talking about the data. I forgot her name, but she was saying that we don't own no, we need to do more ownership or whatnot. And I came back and informed her or said that, we would never own the data because it's owned by somebody else, right? And I think we just was going back and forth. But anywho, hit the plus sign at the bottom and let's just get some more people to join into the conversation because this is going to be really, really good if we can get some really, really good people in here that actually does it, right? So
And I'm not like your resident expert on it. I just been working on a crypto project that's caused me to have to watch hours of videos. And like yesterday, when we talking about getting on the boat, we didn't really get into fishing because all we spoke about was crypto. All we spoke about was how to make a boat launch in the crypto world or how to create these. Because I'm not saying we're not able to learn it. I'm saying a lot of this stuff is being taught and moved around us without including us. So we're necessarily playing catch up and trying to get our children involved because we realize a lot of the technology is geared towards children. It's marketed and targeted towards children. The most profitable platforms are gaming platforms so far in this metaverse, in this digital world. And we had our wires crossed. We're old guys, so we're thinking utility. We're thinking get the coin that works like Google, get the coin that works like Google Map, get the coin that works like Yahoo, get the coin that works like, when in actuality, those coins are just like anything else. They're subject to a person's preferences. Whereas a game, per se, most times when people buy games, they play them to completion, especially gamers anyway. If it's a good game, they play it to completion. By the time they're complete, they're addicted to it. If they have digital assets that they've gained in this game, they now have an incentive to continue returning to the game. So when you talk about like what PlayStation and GameStop and Xbox does, they make you spend real. You said it. They spend. So my son's godmother was complaining 2 days ago about it. Her son didn't get much Christmas presents because he spent her real money on fake money for PlayStation game credits or whatever, and like $80 worth. I said, you can't get a refund. She said, no, he spent it, then he used what he spent it on. It's like, what? So shit, that is another level of disgruntled because you can't get your money back. It's not like my son stole this thing out your store by accident and you bring it back. So, you know, having those securities in place. I think we had one lady come in here one day was talking about how the digital world is, and she had no control and she didn't know how to take control of the devices and apps that she was using. So I think that's very key if we're going to be stepping into these worlds to learn what controls exist for us first and how to use them to protect ourselves. Because somebody, you might go to somebody you really think you trust and like to help you set up your crypto world, and they take your keys and they wait till it's fully funded and turn around and take all your money. Like I said, it happened to my brother attempting to set up his NFTs initially. So he lost a couple photos, a couple images. The guy owns, he doesn't own. The guy went through his account, took the money he had set up, a couple $1,000s. He learned a good lesson. But this is the true sense of being responsible for your own data and your own finances. So let's not overlook the seriousness of your information and your financial information in the digital world.
Just, I have a question.
Proceed. No, no, you're
So,
good.
I don't know too much about I'm doing my own research on like the metaverse and like NFTs, but what built in mechanism is there for NFT owners for somebody not to just take your work or screenshot it or still do the same things that people do now with digital work and just use it for their own like what I guess what I'm saying is like what makes people want to buy it versus just using it for what they want to do for like quick gain or like posting something online with like one of your pictures or NFTs or something like that, like they do now.
My understanding of it is that you have a digital code, just like your IRSC code that you use to connect or that you use to connect your music to your ASCAP and your BMI. If anyone's familiar with that, you have an IRSC code or IRSC code they send with your music. A lot of people overlook it, especially artists, but that's the code you need to get credit for your music playing. The same way that code gives you credit for your music playing, the system is set up where you're not necessarily able to track it. That's why you need these publishing houses like BMI and ASCAP and other people, because their system was built where the artist or the company it'd be difficult for them to track their own music, right? Like, I don't know what my numbers are in Russia. Cool. But with NFTs, you, the individual, hold and own that number, that code, where that NFT exists in the digital world. And everywhere it goes and is resold, you receive a commission from it. So you set what that commission is, not the industry. It's like right now, if you play a record in the US, most likely you're getting a third of a penny for the spin. But if you play that same record in Russia, you're getting like a penny for the spin. And that's a big price difference. But we don't set those prices, so we get no say so on when and how we get paid. Right now, even the way the music royalties are distributed in a lot of situations is this pool. They pool all the money together, and whoever your top artists are gets the lion's share of those royalties. So the lower you trickle down, clearly you're not getting any royalties. With NFTs, this is how you catalog the things you create and the property you own in the digital world so that you can create music. And no matter where it goes in the universe, you get credit for being the creator, even though you sold it to someone else. That doesn't, they don't get to say, hey, look what I drew because they bought it from you. You still have to pay homage to the artist. Now, to protect it from being stolen, just say they took your number, you have to have a private wallet with private key that only you have access to. So if you're going to give people access to this private key, it should be people you trust and love. Honestly, we're to the point where now I have to say it. Your private key needs to be included in your financials. It needs to be included in your will. It needs to be included in your safe firebox where you put all your very important, if I die, this is how I handle my business papers. Because that is the only way your family will be able to access the money within your crypto wallet or your NFTs if they have value. You ask, how do they make them popular? What adds value to the NFTs? Couple things. The platform you're selling it on, for one, but also it's a popularity contest. It's about who knows your product exists and where does it exist. That's basically it. It's not as complicated as we think it is. It's this whole crypto world, in my opinion, is putting Chuck E. Cheese money on steroids and then making it a popularity contest. So if that makes sense, if that analogy makes sense, then you understand what you're doing with your money and how you can potentially grow it.
Hey, good morning to the room. How are y'all doing?
Good.
I
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. I wanted to piggyback off of Mr. Brown and try to give you another answer to what you were asking, DeAndre. It sounded like you was trying to ask for protection on the digital art in which you make, and to follow off of what Mr. Brown is talking about. Um, when you mint your NFT, birth your NFT on the blockchain, that is your protection. That everybody in the world knows who made that NFT. It's in your smart contract. Everything that you need for proof of ownership when you birth or mint your NFT is there on the blockchain. That is your receipt. That is your copywritten receipt of ownership. Anybody who takes a snapshot or a screenshot of your digital art and utilizes it for digital art, that is just a copy. It is not the actual digital art themselves. So if they're going around with a PTR of your NFT, again, that's an imitation and it's not your art. Now, if they make money from that, you can take them to, you can take them, can't really take them to court from it because if they're making money from a copy, that's not a if they're making money from a copy, that is not against the law in this decentralized world that we're trying to go into. But if they try to sell it as the NFT and they think and in this NFT market without a smart contract is unable to be sold as an NFT. You will always be able to make money from your sales on your NFT, depending on what you put in your unlockable content, and it goes up the scale. Your secondary market, your third dairy market, and then if you want to stack your NFTs to put additional values on them, because you can make an NFT into an NFT. Like you can stack it inside of each other. There's millions of strategies in this NFT family, in this NFT world, and you're only limited to your imagination. But protection comes from birthing your NFT or minting your NFT.
Gotcha. So, and you can only sell, as far as if I'm just want to make sure I understand it correct, you can only sell one best copy of your NFT because that's the. I mean, it's not like clothes where you can make clothes and just sell like the same thing to different people. You have copies of it. I mean, when you make your NFT, that's the only copy.
So
That's
when
like
you
the.
make so when you make the NFT, for instance, like your PTR that you have up there now, or even my PTR that I have, if I minted this as an NFT, I make 10,000 copies of it, or I make 50,000, or even if I make 3 copies of it. However many that you make, the uniqueness to it comes to the where they fall in the series, just like even in the sporting cards thing. You got 50 cards, and card 35 might be the special one out of that bunch. You know what I'm saying? But it's a when you make the value of each NFT comes, like you might make 500 NFTs or copies of your original one. The original one is in your hand, and now you have the NFT copies, the digital copies, which is your digital asset. You make 500 of those. The last 100, you want to make them very special. You put additional content in the smart contract, and um, you only have to the people who buy those in the smart contract. That's the identifier there. They even though it's a copy, it's the identification is in the fact of it being minted number 437 out of 500.
Okay, gotcha.
So
Okay, do
if
me a huge favor, guys, if you don't mind. Again, thank you guys for joining this morning to Hello Houston. We go live Monday through Friday from 7:15 to 8:15 Central Standard Time, and sometimes we go over. In Hello Houston, we talk about business, lifestyle, and current events Monday through Friday. Please look to your left, please look to your right. Go ahead and look at people's bios. See what they do. Even though we're having this discussion this morning, you never know who could be the next person that you can actually do business with or just connect, just have a larger network. You also can go up to the top where you see pinned at the top, which is HelloHoustonTexas.com. That is our website. We're not just on Clubhouse, we're actually a full organization of members. So if you don't mind, please do me a favor as well. Go to the top, there is a Clubhouse. Go ahead and click that Clubhouse and join us if you like this discussion on today. Lastly, do me a huge favor. Hit the plus sign at the bottom and add some people to the conversation. We want to go ahead and build the actual knowledge behind the full metaverse world that everyone is talking about. I'm not gonna lie, I'm confused as hell uh because people had their different versions of it. And this morning I will say it's almost to the point where it's making it plain and simple. I know in different industries, you have different terms that you need to know. You have different ways of understanding what it really is, but today we are trying to get a solid answer of what is metaverse, what are NFTs, what is blockchain, and not trying to go into actually buying it, but if we wanted to, where will we start? So I appreciate that everybody that's coming in and giving their version of it and kind of making it plain. I appreciate you a lot because this is something that I actually want to learn and I want to get into it, but I just can't do it because I don't understand it. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. Let's keep the conversation.
Hey, just to capital or just to piggyback on what I was speaking, my name is Shorter. I do collaborations on this Clubhouse platform. I have a couple developers that I work with as far as developing different things. But what my claim to fame is I have a network of NFT studios that we're building and rolling out in a launch with Alonzo Williams from the NWA fame. Um, we have a network of NFT studios where we're combining the arts with the musicians and TV programs and stuff like that. Finding out the way that NFTs are working is has been very interesting for the last 4 months. The last 2 months has been very very interesting though. But yeah, the I just wanted to give you some clarification on who I was and why I knew what I knew or was coming in and saying because I didn't introduce myself at all. I just said good morning, but I didn't want you to think that I was just speaking from a like a YouTube expert or something like that. I'm just talking from strategies and experiences that I'm going through, and nothing is a 100% correct. Everything is limited by your imagination, and the success of NFTs, as Mr. Brown was saying earlier when he was saying it was what do you say, a community thing or popularity. Yeah, yeah. In the way it's going now because of the alt art culture coming into the space with the NFTs first and introducing the art, everybody believes that you have to, build a community, this, that, and the third. But NFTs are technical things. You can turn a website into an NFT. You can turn a functioning, you can even the smart contracts that you're utilizing for your NFTs, you can turn into an NFT. You can turn a television program into an NFT. So it's remarkable on what I'm learning. Um, and to also key in on what you ended your room set with, the biggest difference on the metaverse that people get confused. Try to The metaverse is something like the internet. It's a huge space, right? When everybody keeps talking about their little space inside of the metaverse, they have meta worlds inside of the metaverse. So a lot of people hear metaverse and it's just a key word, but crystal voxels, sandbox, decentraland, Atlas World, Planet Earth, Blue Earth, all those little different games that you're hearing. Those are metaverse world. I'm sorry, meta world games that are in the metaverse. If that helps anybody understand.
Okay, we appreciate you. Please know that we're taking all the knowledge from all the individuals and choose, like you said, choose wisely and do your research on what you guys are listening to. Nothing is solid, but we do appreciate the ad lib of what it is, what it could be, or something we can look at later. So we appreciate you. Anybody else want to?
Yeah, can I chime in quickly? I just wanted to agree with what Shorter said. I am a co-founder of a metaverse company called Elusor. It's the world's first design-oriented metaverse platform, and he's absolutely right. Since the sort of announcement by Facebook and the transition from Facebook to Meta, there's been a sort of wrong I would say, perception of what a metaverse is. A lot of people conflate the term or the concept of a metaverse with a social VR platform, which is essentially what all these platforms are, including what Facebook is doing. They're all social VR platforms. They're not actual metaverses. And the simplest way I can define what a metaverse is basically the intersection between virtual reality, physical reality, and the internet. So the metaverse is basically just the future of the internet. Right now, we're in Web 2.0, and that's going to be Web 3.0, basically, when everything on the internet becomes virtual and becomes seamless between virtual reality and physical reality, and this sort of mixed reality world that we live in. That's basically what the metaverse is. And my company, Facebook, Decentraland, Roblox, even Sims, and all these other platforms are going to contribute very heavily to the metaverse. But the way you can see it is all these platforms are to the metaverse what social media is to the internet. It's a big part of it, but it's not the whole story, right? And trying to explain the metaverse today to people is the equivalent of trying to explain the internet to someone living in the 1960s. It's a little bit difficult, but we do have a sort of direction in which we're going. And until we actually get there, until you get to experience it for yourself, it's very difficult to sort of wrap your head around it. But yeah, I just wanted to chime in and agree with what Shorter was saying. It's a great conversation going on here, so thanks.
I appreciate you. So I really like that you said how you kind of broke it down, like it's the physical world, digital world with the internet. I think that's plain and simple, straight to the point. Because I'm not gonna lie to y'all. We have had individuals to come in and give us this whole circle of and you got to look at it like this, look at it like that, and we ain't understand nothing. You know how you in the room, you explaining something to people, and all of them just shaking their head and smiling, and damn well they don't understand nothing you saying. Yeah, that's what we've been doing. So we're at the point like, okay, who really know what they're talking about, or can give us a look like, okay, y'all, look at it like this, right? Because of course this the metaverse is gonna have meta versions of of what they're trying to explain to us. But we appreciate everybody that's tapping in and giving us some type of insight. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are very knowledgeable and can break it down to bits and pieces. But I'm at the point where like, okay, so you saying it look like this, okay, that makes sense. You say it look like this, and I'm trying to make it so plain that if someone listens to this replay, they don't have to be lost, right? And they can do their research and hear some of the keywords that you guys are saying, and put their stuff together how they put it together. So again, nobody's right, nobody's wrong. We all are gonna do our own research, but we want to know where to start researching. So you guys are really helping with that. So we really appreciate it. It is 7:55. If you don't mind, make sure that you follow our clubhouse. Make sure if you have additional information that you want to go over, if it's a topic or something, and you want to host a room about it, don't worry, just DM me, Johnny, or Tony, and let us know, and we'll go ahead and set up a room for you so you can deep dive into what we're talking about. So let's keep it going. We have approximately 20.
Man, New Orleans lit, y'all. Mr. Brown, I gotta get out of this place. I need some metaverse.
Man, you did it wrong. You went there trying to treat it like it was post Corona. And I apologize, but New Orleans is, I don't know what they're doing to that city, bro. I'm gonna tell you the truth, man.
Well,
This New
I need
Orleans
some
shit.
metaverse money. How can I get some money in the metaverse? Phase out. I need
Well,
about 50,000 Ethereum, bro. What's up?
the 50,000 Ethereum, you got $1 billion? Look what I'm saying, Bree Love. I think like I'm looking at checking my coins. Like I was just checking my coins, and it's not the coins you think. Like I don't look at it as a casino per se, but I kind of have to treat it like a casino, understanding that I'm not technically versed in everything. So some of these coins I bet on because I can research the project and
Over
okay, I can see the game is popular, but some of these coins I bet on because of what the price is set at. It's like, you know what? That price is set at such a price where I could take it and hold it, and if it jump, it jump. If it don't, I'm not missing the money. But then some of these coins, like this morning, you have Harvest Finance, not no advice or nothing, just Harvest Finance jump up from
there,
200
Mike.
something a coin to $900 per coin, 938. It did that this morning within minutes, and it's been trickling
Look at my
down
bag,
to
Mike.
like 700. But it's like if you never heard of Harvest Finance, they don't get on your radar until they shoot up that much. And now you might go run and jump and put some money in, but you've already missed the boat. So now you're the cannon fodder, as I call it, meaning people are going to eat off of your greed, off of your FOMO, your uninformed self. You're uninformed, so you go in there thinking, yeah, this thing's shooting, this thing moving. Let me throw some money in it when it's at 700. Now realizing it's about to correct down another 30, 40, 50, maybe 200%, and you lost your money. So what we have to understand is that quite often we need to be doing the research before the coins become popular and putting money in them that we're not going to miss. Because I've had Harvest Finance, but I've only had like $5, $10 worth of Harvest Finance because when I bought it, it was so cheap. So I never paid attention to it until it pops up on your radar that you missed out on a lick. And it's missing out on a lick, in my opinion, if the thing go from 200 to 900 and you had a couple thousand you could have put on it.
All
Yeah,
right,
it's,
Rob,
it's
Mr. Brown, can you
Rob,
short
you
the
want to
coin?
jump in?
Mr. Brown, can you?
yeah, that's the crazy part. You can short these coins.
That sounds like your strategy
You
right there. If it's gonna jump up like that, I've made tons of money doing it that way, waiting for companies to jump up, knowing that they're not stable enough to stay at that price, and short them and make the money on them as they come.
That's what you're able to do with some of them, but like in day trading, you have to be watching this thing most of the day or checking it at 15, 20-minute increments almost to catch it when it's at that high, when it's on its way up or when it's leveraging up. Now, you have apps like KU Coin. KU Coin is on the App Store. It's being beta tested and all this other stuff, but it lets you pretty much day trade pips in foreign exchanges and cryptocurrencies all in one place. So they're creative as hell, but ideally, that's a level of information you have to inform yourself about before you go to dumping your money in because it's new terrain.
I think Bree Love was asking Faisal a question.
Sorry, what was the question?
He was asking about some erythium, I believe it was, however you say it. But I think he was also joking too. So
Ethereum.
gotta know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What about Ethereum?
he was asking how to buy some, how to get some.
Oh, right. I think Mr. Brown answered that right. You can pretty much buy it on any crypto platform out there. I'm not sure exactly what the question is.
It's okay. He'll
I
come
think he
back.
was making a joke. I don't think he was
Yeah,
asking.
that's what I'm saying.
Uh,
You gotta know who Bree Love is. Like, sometimes he'll throw it out there just to see who really gonna who know it and who don't know it. So that's Bree Love for you. Let's see who else is in here that want to chime into the conversation. We got a lot of people that's on stage. Erica T. Coop, Goddess, what's up? Good morning.
I'll be straight up honest. I'm just like you, Andy. I'm learning. I'm driving at the same time, trying to get information as well.
Okay.
From my understanding, it's more like a virtual reality into metaverse. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting so far. And I kind of googled it just to make sure understanding it, but seems what everybody was talking, it's more like a virtual reality to me. That's to me.
Okay. What about you, Goddess? You know, you have anything you want to sum up or question you have? Nope. Everybody just on stage, right? All right.
I can.
I
Um.
Sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rob.
my question to
Go ahead, Rob.
anybody who's familiar with the metaverse is what's the end game here? What's the end goal of this metaverse? I I am as confused as most people when it comes to the metaverse. However, I took a different approach when it came to investing in the metaverse. I chose an ETF to invest in that split my money up over these companies that are dealing with the metaverse, like Nvidia and Meta Platforms and Amazon. So while I am invested in the metaverse, I took a different approach. But what I am trying to understand is, you know, where is this headed in 10 and 15, 20 years from now? Will we still be talking about a metaverse? What upgrades will we see? I mean, where's this headed? Because to me, to me, and it's just me personally, it
That's a
does
great
not make
question.
sense to me at all. Like it just, I don't get it. I don't understand its purpose. To me, I have a hard time finding the tangible qualities in it, and seeing why I would go spend real money on something that's not real land. It just doesn't make sense to me. So if anybody can you know break that down to me and tell me, in 10 years this is what it hopes to be. Obviously you would know, but this is what the goal is. In 15 years, this is how it's going to improve, whatever the internet, whatever the world, whatever it may be. If anybody has, any idea.
That's a great question, and I can answer. Actually, I think you have about 3 questions in there, so I'll try to answer all of them, and also T Coop's question as well. To start with Teakup's question, I think that's the most important thing, right? When anyone starts to talk about the metaverse as an expert on the topic, like we see many people do these days, ask them what the difference between virtual reality and the metaverse is. And that's how you kind of differentiate between who actually knows what they're talking about and who's just, talking out their ass. Because the main difference is that virtual reality has existed for the past maybe, 40, 50 years. Many different platforms are virtual reality platforms, but there's not a single metaverse platform yet, right? And the main difference is that the metaverse includes virtual reality, but virtual reality doesn't include the metaverse. The metaverse is all encompassing. It's a single platform. And I actually sent Andy an article uh, by this expert called Tony Parisi, which defines the 7 rules of the metaverse. And if you're talking about the metaverse, it has to be sort of consistent with those 7 rules, or else it's not a metaverse. For example, if you're talking about 2 different metaverse, because there's only one metaverse in the metaverse. To get to Rob's question, so there's obviously different projections and forecasts about the future. uh, I guess the way you have to think about it is, if someone came to you in the 90s with different ideas and investment opportunities and said, there's this thing called the internet, it's going to blow up, I want you to invest. Would you have invested? And looking back, 2020 vision now, would you have regretted not investing in it, right? One thing about the metaverse is it's inevitable. It is the future of humanity. There's no 2 ways around it. Whether it manifests in the way we expect it to manifest exactly or a little bit different is redundant, because it's going to happen. And in terms of how it's going to happen, I've been speaking to many experts in the field and colleagues and other co-founders and directors, etc. I think most people agree that what's going to happen in the next maybe 5 to 10 years is the general public is going to start wearing uh, some sort of AR device. So obviously today we all have AR devices called mobile phones. We're probably going to start wearing some sort of smart glasses that begin to augment reality. And that's how we're going to enter the metaverse fully. I don't think we're all going to invest in VR goggles or any VR equipment that completely immerses us in the metaverse, but we're going to interact with it in a mixed reality way. So most likely, AR smart glasses that maybe turn into smart contact lenses. And then in the mid to distant future, I would say around 15, 20, 20 years, 25 years from now, we're going to start using BMIs, brain machine interfaces like Neuralink. I'm sure you've heard of Elon Musk's Neuralink, which is basically a chip that's going to be implanted into your brain. And I know at the moment it sounds scary, it sounds spooky, it sounds like, the government trying to take control of us and, implant chips in our brains and all that. Trust me, I know exactly how scary that sounds. And in fact, mobile phones and tracking and all this would have sounded scary 40 years ago. But, I predict that in 20 years' time, it's going to be so acceptable that whoever doesn't get a Neuralink chip in their brain is going to be looked at like some sort of backwards, antiquated weirdo. It sounds weird to say it in 2021, but that's how the world goes. As I can't remember who was saying it earlier on the stage, but the kids today are fully immersed in this virtual meta, world, that they will be the ones essentially, leading this movement, this sort of acceptance of new technology. So as they all accept it, the whole world is going to begin to accept it. So I would say in the next 5 to 10 years, smart glasses are going to be the biggest thing. And then in the next 20 to 25 years, Neuralink technology or BMIs. And, the funny thing, Rob, is that even though you don't believe in this completely, you've actually invested in it the right way. The hardware and the software that's going to go into it, and not just investing in one platform, because it's very easy for one platform to fail. But the fact that you've invested in the software and technology like Nvidia, for example, that these different platforms are based on, is a sure bet. And especially things like Amazon, that their servers, which pretty much every company uses, right? That's a really good investment to make, because these are companies that will succeed whether one platform fails or not. So I'd say in terms of investment, that's how you should most likely, or most, yeah, most likely look at it in that way. But I hope that answers your question. I try to answer the different questions that you asked.
No, that's the best explanation I've ever heard. So I appreciate that.
If you look at the top also, and on the banner, guys, I went ahead and posted the link that was provided, the 7 rules of metaverse. You guys click on it as you, if you would like, so you can get some more information about it. But this was
And
dope.
and Andy, that ETF that I invested in, that I found and did research on, that has all the holdings of the software and hardware components of the metaverse. The ticker symbol is Meta, META, and it's called the Round Hill Ball Metaverse ETF. And at the moment,
One more time.
it's $15 a share. And I honestly think that that's a steal, and considering what Faisal just said, and in the direction that we're going in the next 5 to 10 years, that could potentially be a $300 to $400 a share stock, uh, probably even more if this thing really takes off. But it's Meta, META. Meta is the ticker symbol. The name of it is Round Hill Ball Metaverse ETF, and an ETF is just um, uh, a version of a mutual fund that you can actually trade as if it was a stock. That's all it really is. And the holdings, you can look at them, especially if you have something like Robinhood. It has the top 10 holdings, but the holdings are Nvidia, Meta Platforms, Roblox, Amazon, all of these type of hardware, software components of the metaverse, as Faisal was saying. So that's just some info for anybody who's looking at it from an investment standpoint.
Hey, Rob.
And you said we can look at it through
Well, you can look
Robinhood,
at it on
or will
any
it be?
you can look at it on any brokerage platform that you have. I was just using Robinhood as an example. But as long as you just type in the ticker symbol META, and then you can do what I encourage you to do is to go on Yahoo or go on some sort of educational platform and go read about the ETF, and find out what their holdings are, and so that way you can see how they've built this ETF based on what the metaverse or meta platforms, or whomever, how they're going to be used within the metaverse. That's how they built this ETF. and then so when you put your $15 per share in, your money gets split amongst these companies that are in the metaverse. So the better the metaverse does, the better these companies will do, the better this your stocks, your shares will do.
I'm gonna take
Hey,
him.
hey, Rob. I left when Fazel was speaking because I don't think I got a. Um, I wanted to see if he might have brought up a point here. Um, in listening to a lot of what y'all are saying and how y'all are talking about dealing with a lot of things that are in the centralized part of cryptocurrencies, and the things that I'm talking about or that I deal with a lot is in the decentralized part. And I'm. Do y'all know anything about DeSo as far as the decentralized social media
Do
platform?
us a do us a favor. Tell us the difference between the two, because having that conversation with someone on the stage and then you have conversations with people who don't know what you're talking about is going to confuse us even more. If you have time to tell us in a quick 1 minute
Yeah, very
definition.
quickly. Here you go. Very quickly. There's in the crypto space that you have going on now. You have a centralized world and you have a decentralized world. Centralized world is the conversations in which y'all have in which you're talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoins, all those coins that are staked in the fiat currency world. Decentralized is the other side of the cryptocurrency platform in which you have cryptocurrency that is based off of alternative cryptocurrencies that get accepted into the coin exchange. For instance, in DeSo, stands for decentralized platform, in DeSo you can create your creator's coin, and your creator coin is your coin that you can create a value to and translate it out to real money. Um, but in the way that they're trying to do the cryptocurrency space right now, there's a lot of marketing going towards the centralized part of cryptocurrency, and there's very little light given to the decentralized part, and really everything like the metaverse and your virtual realities and your 3ds and all your digital worlds are really geared for the decentralized part, and the centralized part is really the capitalistic fiat systems trying to keep their stake into cryptocurrency. If that makes sense to anybody. Tried to give it in 1 minute. I think it might have been 4 minutes.
No, that's good. That's cool. We got you. Anybody else want to chime in right quick?
What I do want to say is, you got to start somewhere, and like I started with fake money. Like I was terrified to use real money doing it because there was no one to call. A lot of these places there's no customer service number, or and at that time that was 2017, there was no one to talk to. Like you literally just had to figure it out for the most part because the people who knew were too busy. Um, but you got to start somewhere. And the way I looked at it, I played with fake money for 2 years before I said, you know what, let me put some real money in it. I put real money in it. It did really well. I didn't understand the process. Corona hit. What do we do? I sell the whole account, not knowing. Sell the whole account. A week later, all of these coins start shooting through the roof, like just start moving really up. And I'm upset at that point because I was still monitoring the fake money account. So I'm saying that to say now I've been in it with real money. And reinvest it into these places, you can't be afraid to move the money. You literally have to look at it like anything else. The growth of money comes from its currency, and currency means that it's moving frequently. So to just sit and forget it is one way to grow in certain ways. But a lot of the stuff you want to be up to date on what companies doing what, just like in the stock market, just like in the centralized world, you want to be attached to who they're partnering with because I mean, I'm learning the technical side because we have to know certain technical aspects, especially when setting your own contracts up. You learn a lot of that stuff. But I just approached it from a financial place. And from a financial place, You used to have to be regulated and go through a certain broker. Like obviously, I work for a company that has those type of regulations when you get to a certain level, but I ain't there yet, so I'm cool. But I'm saying you used to have to get permission from some banking entity or some higher source to say I'm crowdfunding and pooling this type of money together for a project. What this decentralized world allows you to do is to set an organization, create your own token or coin, understanding that coins and tokens are not the same. They have differences. But you can set it to a DAO, some type of contract, decentralized autonomous organization, meaning that it's protected through the contract. No one person can run off with the money or whatever. But you can crowdfund for these projects we be talking about, or for these different business aspects that are in the centralized world, that are in a hard mortar place. You can crowdfund through these decentralized things to increase your income or create your flow. It's you look at the white papers on a lot of these coins. If you read them, they're just experiments. They're just projects that different groups have come together to work on and that they believe in. It's not as technical as we want it to be.
Cool. All right, listen, guys. It's just after 8:15. I guess we can start winding it down. But before we do that, we're talking metaverse this morning. What is it? And sort of a lot of aspects in and around it, and it involves. But just by listening to everyone thus far, I can definitely see how this probably started some years ago with the first scenario that was given with the gaming, where I was given money, real money, as Mr. Brown referred to it, right, to to my kid, who would buy its way through these virtual games or whatever he's playing. So it's cool. So I see how that's sort of being expanded now. I guess that might be right. If not, then one of you guys kind of help me or correct me with that. But like I said, in layman's terms, I guess it sounds to me like the metaverse is a larger platform outside of, well, way larger than what we consider the internet right now, uh, and still has the investment aspects, the return on investment aspect, and so on and so forth. So if I'm wrong, anybody can just help me out right quick. You tell me. But if there's anybody that hadn't had a chance to speak to, why don't you guys go ahead and chime in right quick? And if you have any questions, got a comment or something, just go ahead and chime in right quick.
5, 4, 3, 2. Well, since no one has any other questions or have any ad lib, I want to say personally thank you guys for all the information that you gave this morning. It is greatly appreciated. To break it down to, plain terms, because I ain't gonna lie, I've been confused as hell, and I'm gonna be honest. Today was probably the first day where I can say, okay, I know about metaverse, and kind of like, if my 19-year-old son asks me about it, I'm able to say this is what it is, right? Now, my next step will be doing my own research on what are different versions of metaverse and where can I see it live, right? Because sometimes you got to see it live and then go back and ask questions about what you watch, right? So, again, I would like to say thank you to everybody who came in and chimed in and tried to give us the different approach and views of what it is. So I really, really, really appreciate you guys. If you want a part two, please let us know so we can go ahead and do a part two. But besides that, since nobody else have any questions, Tony, Johnny, do y'all have anything before we close the room?
I do not think.
Hmm.
Well, I'm gonna give a weather report. T Weatherman gonna give a weather report in the metaverse right quick. Okay, let him put his glasses on. He'll be right back. Okay, just a second.
Put your glasses on, Tony. Nobody can see you, bro.
Hello, everybody. This is T Weatherman in the metaverse, and yeah, a weather report. Uh, put your glasses on now. It is as beautiful as you can imagine it would be. We woke up to the cool and breezy 70s,
Chance of rain here and there, but we ain't gonna let it stop our day. So, with that being said, hey guys, great weather where I am in the metaverse. I don't know about you, but make the best of it. Later on.
Hey Andy, Andy,
What's up?
Andy. He had to
Yeah.
put the glasses on because the weather report is in the lens of the glasses.
Okay, okay. Because I was confused as hell. I'm like, none of us can see, bro.
Hey,
We
I'll
can't
sell
see
y'all
you.
these glasses right quick if you want. I mean, they some nice ass safety glasses. They tinted and everything, tinted lenses or whatever. But yeah, hey, Rob Shorter, Mr. Brown, facial, I think it was, or facial. Hey, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for the info. Thanks for tapping in with us this morning. And no doubt. But yeah, I'm back quiet.
For sure. All right, guys. So we will see you guys on tomorrow, starting at 7:15. We will start the actual chat at 7:20 a.m. Central Standard Time. But we appreciate you guys for chiming in. Hello, Houston, this morning. Catch you guys tomorrow. Have a prosperous day. Bye, guys.